I made a mistake. Well, we are humans. I know mistakes are unpleasant, but at times they can be useful as well. And as I said, we are humans. Mistakes are inevitable. So let's see what are we gonna learn today. Welcome everyone, thanks for clicking. I am Niharika, and in today's lesson we are going to look at some slang terms used for making mistakes. Well, we all make mistakes, yes, whether we are kids, adults, old people, we all make mistakes. Quite inevitable. So in today's lesson, we are going to look at these fun words that would help you to talk about making mistakes. And probably, if you use these fun words, people might let go of your mistakes. So let's get started. The very first one that I have for you here is blooper. Now, what's a blooper? Well, yes, it is a mistake, but a clumsy or an embarrassing mistake. Now, when do you get embarrassed? When you have to face people, right? So, blooper is an embarrassing mistake, especially one made in front of many people. Like I have to share this story with you. Last weekend, I went to the mall and I went to the washroom, okay, the public washroom that's in the mall. And while I was cleaning my hands, by mistakenly, I dropped my phone. Yes, I dropped my phone and people just started looking at me, gave that weird look, and yes, it was quite embarrassing. So if I have to talk about this situation, I'm going to use this slang term by saying dropping my phone in the sink in a public washroom was a complete blooper. So it was quite an embarrassing mistake, right? So if you have any embarrassing stories where you have made mistakes, try and using this word instead of the boring word that's mistake. All right? Let's have a look at another one, which is boo-boo. Now this term, of course, it's a slang term again, and it has several meanings. One of the most common meaning is when we get hurt, like we physically injure ourselves, maybe we scratch ourselves, and you call that a boo-boo. Oh, you got a boo-boo. So it means you got a physical injury. So that's a boo-boo. But of course, that injury is nothing related to this lesson. So a boo-boo also means a silly, stupid mistake. Yeah, there are times when we all make these silly mistakes. So what do we call such silly mistakes? A perfect term that you can use is boo-boo. Oh, I am so done with your boo-boos at work. So it means that probably I have a colleague who keeps making these silly mistakes. So I'm not going to say silly mistakes. I'm going to use the term boo-boo. All right? Let's have a look at the third term, which is slip up. Now, slip up is again a very careless error. Like for example, a friend of mine, okay, what he did? Well, yes, he slipped up. Now, why am I using the term slipped up? Because he made a careless mistake, a careless error. And what was it? Well, he ended up calling his current girlfriend by his ex's girlfriend's name. Oops! Yeah, he slipped up. That was quite a careless mistake, calling his girlfriend by his ex's name. Whew. Yes, so he slipped up. So it means it was a careless mistake on his part. Let's have a look at the fourth term, which is boner. Now, what does this really mean? Well, boner means a clumsy blunder. And how do you use this term? Well, let's look at an example. My friend took a girl out on a date and he bonered that date. So here what I really mean is that he made a mistake. And what was the mistake? Well, the date was really going fine, okay? They were having a good time, they were chatting, and then he dropped hot soup on her. Well, he spilled hot soup on her. And wow, that is quite a clumsy mistake, right? So he completely bonered the date, right? So he made a clumsy blunder. That's how you can use this term. Now let's look at the fifth term that we have, which is screw up. Yes, we use this term when we completely mess up a situation or we mess up something. Like, I went on the weekend to a pizza place. I was craving pizza, so I ordered for a nice, delicious pizza, and I was really excited because after a long time I was having the pizza. But then guess what? Well, the pizza was completely unpalatable. I couldn't eat it. So the chef totally screwed up the pizza. So it means that he messed up the pizza. It didn't taste good. It was, of course, a mistake on his part. So I'm going to use the term that he screwed up the pizza. Right? So if you have people who mess up situations or who tend to mess up everything, then try to use this term. You will sound really nice. All right? Let's have a look at another term, which is flub. Yes. What does this really mean? Well, flub again means a clumsy mistake. Now, how do you use this term? Well, for example, I go for a presentation, okay? Maybe there's a big conference and I go for a presentation and I make mistakes. So I haven't carried my job well, okay? I did a bad job at my presentation. I screwed up the introduction. I didn't talk about the content correctly. So yes, it was quite a clumsy mistake. And of course, my bosses didn't appreciate that. So I flubbed the presentation. Okay, so an action which was not carried out well, okay, it was badly done, it was a clumsy mistake on your part, then you can use the term flub. So I flubbed the presentation. So it means I made a mistake, okay, it was not right on my part while I was giving that presentation, right? Let's have a look at another term, which is bungle. Now, bungle can be similarly used as this one. Okay, it also means an action which is carried out badly. Now, let's use this word in an example. Now, your company's accounts department, their work is not that great. They do make mistakes, maybe silly mistakes. So their work is carried out badly, right? So how are you going to use the word? You're going to say the accounts department bungled with the company's accounts. Okay, so they made a big blunder. They made a mistake while doing the accounts for the company. All right, so that's how you will use this term. And then let's have a look at the last term, which is goof up. Now, goof up is again a careless mistake, and especially because of irresponsible behavior. Yes, there are so many people around us who are so irresponsible. Well, these irresponsible people literally get on my nerves because they goof up things easily. So goof up is careless mistake because of irresponsible behavior. So if you have such people around you, for their mistakes, rather than saying, hey, you have been making so many silly mistakes. So rather than using this term, try and using this term, which is goof up. Okay, so you have goofed up a lot these days, or you have been goofing up too much these days. So it means that you have been making a lot of careless mistakes because you are irresponsible about your work. Okay, so that's how you will use these words. So we have 8 expressions, 8 slang terms that you have learned today. Try and use them in your daily conversation instead of using the same old boring word, which is mistake. They're fun to use, and I'm sure there's a probability that people may just let go of your mistakes. So I'll be back with a new lesson soon. Till then, you take care.